So first we'll just quickly revise what we've learned yesterday because there are also new people joined in today who couldn't join yesterday's demo. So it will be helpful for them as well, and also it will be a revision for you as well. Okay. So start beginning with, we've seen what SAP means. So what is exactly SAP does? What is the use of SAP, right? So SAP is a German company software which is used to integrate your business processes through a ERP model. Okay, ERP means enterprise resource planning. So enterprise is nothing but your business. Resource is nothing but all the living, non-living, tangible and intangible assets organization is having, which is helping the organization to sustain. Then planning is how to plan these resources. Okay, so SAP stands for System, Application and Products. So SAP in general is a software integrated business development tool. Okay, so then we have seen what are all the modules that are there in the SAP. So in general, modules are categorized into technical and functional. So again, when you categorize these things, there are many modules in SAP. So among all those modules, so here are a few modules which are widely used in most number of the projects, right? So if we begin with functional modules, so first we have SD. SD is sales and distribution. So all the sales related activities, right, in our organization, all the activities that are related to sales will be taken care by your sales and distribution team, like creation of sales orders, all these things, right? So sales orders or pricing conditions, tax related things will be taken care by your sales and distribution team. Then you have material management team who will take care of procurement of the raw material, means buying the raw material or storing the raw material, where is the raw material stored or where is the food stored, uh, how much stock do I have in my inventory, do I have to restock, all these things related to materials will be taken care by our material management team. Then FICO stands for finance and controlling. So out of all the function modules in SAP, FICO is the most burning module because every issue that you get in FICO is on priority. Every time it is on priority because FICO deals with financial transactions. Okay, so example, let's say you are a user wherein you placed an order in Amazon for rupees 10,000. Okay, so your money is debited, but you didn't get your order confirmation. Okay, your money is debited, but you didn't get your order confirmation. So imagine how furious will you be when you talk to your customer service guy, right? You'll say that, see, unnecessarily my money got deducted and the order is not placed. Now what am I supposed to do? So all these things, you'll be furious at the Amazon, right? So similarly, now imagine the same thing happening to a global giant. Okay, a global client, when you look at them, the transactions are not in thousands or hundreds; it will be in millions. Okay, so if one customer says that, see, $1 million got deducted from my account, but the shipment haven't started yet. So imagine the level of furiousness that customer have for $1 million who has placed that huge amount, right? So that's the reason FICO is the most toughest or the most all the issues that comes into your FICO is on utmost priority. So yeah, that's about your FICO. Then you have plant maintenance. So plant maintenance is nothing but if manufacturing plant. So if you're having a manufacturing plant, all the activities that you do in your manufacturing plant, like how to organize resources in your plant, will be taken care by your PM team, plant maintenance team. Then getting into technical modules, first we have ABAP. So ABAP stands for Advanced Business Application Programming. Okay, Advanced Business Application Programming. So in ABAP in general, we give solutions or we develop solutions for the client. Okay, we develop solutions for the client as per the requirement. Right. So example, if a client wants to see uh, how much raw materials are they having in the inventory, or how much finished goods are stored in the inventory, or what is my sales in last quarter. So all these things are stored in your database. So a end user or the client cannot directly visualize this data. They cannot directly see this data. Yes. So in these cases, they reach out to the ABAP team with a hope that we will create few custom reports for them, using which they will be able to see the data. Okay. So we, in general, our goal or our responsibility would be to create reports or forms or etc create developments that are useful for the user to see how they are performing in terms of business, and how can they improve further in the future. Then we have basis team. So basis team is the admin team again, in SAP. So again, in all compared to all the technical modules, basis team is again every issue is a priority issue for your basis team, right? So because they deal with your server, login credentials, all these things, everything that's related to your admin work. So if something is not working, if the server is down, then it's a very big issue. No one across the world is not able to access your SAP for some reason. Then imagine the level of pressure that they're gonna have to fix it. Okay, so that's it. That's why basis is again, from all the technical modules, basis is the hot seat of among all the modules. Then BW stands for business warehousing. So they deal with the technicality wherein they showcase the data in an analytical format. Okay, an analytical format means pictorial representation of your data. So it could be a pie chart, histogram, bar graph, etc., etc. So they visualize the data in those modules, those models. Okay, then finally we have BODS. So BODS is a technical module which is not very much used in most of the projects. So BODS is used to migrate the data from one system to another system, from one database to another database. That means when there is a large amount of data that has to be transferred from one, one system to another system, only in those cases your BODS tool or module will be incorporated into the SAP system. Okay. Yep. Anyone have any doubt till now? But you are getting any noise from my side? I'm hearing someone saying you are getting any disturbance from my side.
No, you're good.
Thanks. Okay, so then we'll see what are all the benefits of choosing ABAP over other modules. So first, when you are working for a global client, your users will be in working in different time zones. So since as an ABAPer, you will never connect with your client, you don't need to extend your work hours to get the requirement from the client or get address the issue from your client. Your functional consultants will be working in different kinds of shifts, or they'll be extending their work hours in order to get these requirements from your uh, global users. Then, since you are not directly connecting with the client, people do not expect you to have excellent communication skills. Okay, so even if you are, basic, if you're able to understand English and able to speak basic English, then it's cool as an ABAPer, because you'll never connect with your client directly. Then, for any system issues that occur in SAP, you are not responsible for it. So it doesn't matter if the server is down, people are not able to log in, and whatever it is, you will never get a call from anyone to fix the issues. Your B system will handle that. So because of all these factors, you will have a very flexible environment wherein you can work in your own time zone. Whenever you are free, when you are available, you can work. Yeah, there won't be any person sitting on your head saying that we need to be fix this in the midnight, so please log in now and fix it, and all. You're not. It's not gonna happen. Okay. Then the biggest benefit of all these are you will have a very large team. Okay, because that's how things work in SAP. If you are having two or three members each from your functional teams, then you'll at least have times three members in your ABAP team. Means if you're having two to three people in functional modules, you will have at least times three. That's six times two or six times sorry, three times three or three times two. So you will either have six people or nine people in your ABAP team. That's in general in every project. That's how the resources are structured, right? Because of which you will have more number of openings than any other module that is there in SAP. And also, since there are more number of openings, you will have a larger team who can help you out whenever you are stuck at any given point of time. Okay, if you're stuck at any point, you don't need to worry. There will be a person available. Again, some of the other colleague will be available who can get you out of that situation. Like we can help you fix that error or help you fix that issue, etc. Okay. Then, to whom is SAP ABAP suitable? So first, SAP consultants or SAP functional consultants who has current working experience in functional module, but now want to get into a technical module for whatever the reasons. Maybe they are having more pressure in function module, or they want to get into coding part, or whatever. There could be multiple reasons. But if you are a functional consultant and want to get into technical module, then ABAP is suitable for you. Then students and recent graduates. So these are the people who just graduated or have completed their graduation a few years ago, but were not able to secure a stable job, right? So it is that category of people. For you also, SAP is suitable. Doesn't matter what your educational background is. If it, I mean, it could be software or non-software related, like CSE or IT, or doesn't matter if you're mechanical, civil. It doesn't matter whatever your educational background is, or even if you are from MBA management, also it's cool because SAP ABAP is suitable for you. The reason being the coding language is very simple in ABAP. Then finally, career changes are those people who are currently working in any non-IT field in the market, but now want to shift their focus to a software as a software developer. So now, why is ABAP better than other programming languages? So first and most important, English like coding pattern. So everything that you write in ABAP, everything you see in ABAP will be very much like English. Okay, so example, if you want to read any data, I'm just giving you an example. Anyhow, we'll see in depth how the coding will look like and all. But yeah, let's say if you want to read some data from any table, in that case, you'll just write read table. Okay, so if you want to sort the data, then you'll simply write sort data ascending or descending order. Okay. If you want to convert any data to uppercase, then you will just write convert to uppercase or convert to lowercase. Like that is simple. Everything will be in English only. So if you can talk, speak, write, understand English, then you can write code in ABAP. Simple, right? Then integration with SAP systems. So SAP can be integrated with any software that is there in the market. So we have some cross application components. Even we will discuss on those cross application components also. So using those cross applications, you can integrate the SAP system to any third party system. It can be Java, it can be .NET, MuleSoft, Salesforce, Pega, any software that is there in the market. You can integrate the current SAP system to that system. And also, since we are having many modules in SAP, right? There are 15, 20 modules in SAP, combining technical and functional. So at a later point of time, if you feel like you want to get cross skilled in any other software or any other module, rather than shifting your focus completely off from SAP, you can shift your focus from technical module to another technical, like from ABAP to another technical module, or to a functional module of your choice. Okay, it's up to you. Like after 5 years, if you are bored, you feel like you need more challenges in your life, then go ahead and you can get yourself trained in other functional modules also. Okay, finally, we have SAP community and support. So SAP Community and Support is a web portal that is available, under which there are uh, ex-employees or current employees who are working in SAP since past many years, 20 plus years. So this in this portal, every day people will be posting something like the errors that they are getting, or if they are stuck at any point, if they want any help, they'll be posting their questions in this portal, and the existing SAP developers that are there globally across the world will look at those queries and they'll give you the solutions in the SAP community. Okay, so the SAP community is a portal driven by SAP itself. Okay, so it's driven by SAP itself. So the solutions that you are going to get in SAP community is from an actual SAP developer only, not by any some random person. It is by a developer only, and all the errors that you are going to get, uh, chances are they are already addressed in this tool. Okay, so you just need to go to this portal and do a search. I'll show you the portal also anyhow, how to navigate, how to use and all. I'll show you. So you just need to go there and give your error in the portal, and you will get a solution for that portal in that portal. Any concerns, any doubts till now? Anyone? Okay, now moving on. Yeah, yeah. Someone wants to say something. Okay, moving on. What are all the in general responsibilities of an ABAP consultant? So first is requirement analysis. So when we say requirement analysis, it means gathering the requirement from your functional consultant. Okay. So as said earlier, you will not be directly connecting with your client. So your functional consultant will be connecting with the client. After connecting with the client, they will be getting the requirement from them, and your functional team will prepare a functional document for you. So in this functional document, you will have all the details which are necessary for you to start your development. Okay, so once you understood the complete functional document, you can start your development. So under the development phase, you will start building your application. Okay, we'll start creating object in development phase. So once you have completed your application or report or whatever the object is, you will do a performance tuning on it. So for doing performance tuning, so first performance tuning is nothing but optimizing your code so that it will not have any performance delays, or it will not put any high loads on top of database, right? So that is called as performance tuning. So again, you don't need to worry about how to change my code, how to make it more efficient, more optimistic, and all, because there are tools inbuilt in SAP that are used to do this performance tuning. So you just have to run these tools. I'll show you the tools also, how to use those, how to do the optimization and all. We'll go through each and everything too. So whatever I'm discussing now, we'll go through each and everything later. Okay, yeah. So these performance tools, you just have to run it, and it will show you suggestions on how to improve the code. It will directly tell you that, see, currently you are using this, instead of this you can use this. Okay, that's how the uh, message will be shown in SAP. Okay, and more importantly, see, if you look at other softwares also, when you if you are having any program error, syntax error in your code, you will not get accurate error, right? You will get generic errors in that system, like compiler couldn't run, or there is an issue while during the runtime, etc., etc. Some generic errors you will get. But here you will get, in ABAP, you will get a very specific message, very detailed message, that if you are missing something, if you miss any syntax at any point, it will directly pinpoint the line number to you. Sometimes it will also show you that, see, you missed it, so add this. Right? For few messages, it will also show you the syntax also. And more better thing is, you don't need to remember the syntaxes at all in ABAP, because all the syntaxes are inbuilt in SAP. So there is a small shortcut that you have to use in order to get syntax for everything. Okay, you can get syntax for everything in SAP. You don't need to remember any syntaxes also. So that's again a benefit for you. Okay, so yeah, coming back to responsibilities. So see, once your performance tuning is done, you will have to prepare a documentation. So here documentation means, so every project will have a separate technical template wherein you just have to fill few details, right? First, initially you will get a functional document. Yes. So similar to that, you will have to create a technical document. So what should I mention in the technical document? How should the format be? And all these things will be communicated to you by your project team only, because every project has different kind of technical template. Okay, so they'll give you a sample template. So looking at that sample template, you just have to fill the details, like adding the screenshots from your code, or selection screen, output screen, or tables involved, everything. Like it would be different in every project, so I'll not say what to include and what not to include. But yes, you will get the KT, knowledge transfer, done. Once you get into a project in any company, you will get this template. Okay, so till this we have discussed till yesterday. So if you are not having any doubts, we can move on. Anyone has any doubt?
No, no, continue.
Thank you. Okay. So see, first in the introduction on what SAP is, I told you ERP, correct? So ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning Architecture. So this is how your ERP architecture works. So let's just understand how the ERP architecture works. So here, imagine there is one company. So let's take an example of a chocolate factory. Okay, imagine there is a chocolate factory. So in that chocolate factory, every day they, by using some raw materials, by using cocoa, sugar, etc., whatever the raw materials that are required, they are manufacturing chocolate. Okay, so in this cases, what you'll have is you'll have a human resources. So human resources are the people who are either working in the background or who are working in the plant for manufacturing the product. Okay, it is them. Then you'll have planning. So planning means how many number of chocolates should I manufacture in a day, or in a week, or in a month. So depending upon the sales forecasting, means depending on their assumption that okay, I might have this much number of sales in this month, so I have to create or manufacture these many number of chocolates for this month. So using that technique, they'll do a planning, and according to that they'll create these things. Okay, create the your chocolates. So once chocolate is or chocolates are manufactured, they are not directly shipped to the retailers or distributors, right? So retailers or distributors are people who actually take those manufactured goods to consumers directly. Okay, they are called retailers and distributors. So yeah, they will not directly ship it to the retailers and distributors, but the factory has to store the completed chocolates in some inventory, right? Some go down, some inventory, they'll have to store it. So that is nothing but your inventory management. Here inventory management is nothing but that one. So this will be taken care. So human resource will be taken care by your HR. There is a functional module in SAP called as HR or CRM. It's called CRM or HR. So they will take care of this. So all the planning activities will be taken care by your business architects. Then inventory management will be taken care by your inventory management team or warehousing team. Then comes your sales and marketing. Okay, so sales and marketing will be taken care by your SD module functional consultants. So they are responsible for creating sales orders, getting the sales orders, etc., etc. All these things will be taken care by your sales and marketing. So once you have received the sales order, only then you will ship your product from the inventory to the distributor or consumer or retailer, whatever the business model is. So according to that, you will ship your finished products from inventory to that particular location. So those things will be taken care by our sales and marketing team. So after the delivery is completed, you will have the invoicing. Yes, invoicing and financial transactions, right? The customer has to do the payment. So that is taken care by our finance and accounting, finance or controlling, finance and accounting, whatever it is. right? It will be taken care by your finance and controlling. So in general, integrating each and every process, so each and every process in this business model is nothing but your ERP. So ERP is integrating all these processes into one single model. Okay, so now you understand that how each and everything works. So what is the priority of, I mean, what is the roles and responsibilities of each and every functional module that is there in the SAP. Now where does ABAP comes in all these modules is, see, ABAP stands in between all these things, in the middle of all these things. Okay, so doesn't matter if human resource needs any help with anything, with any report, they'll reach out to ABAP. If inventory guys, they want to see how much inventory data they are having, storing in inventory, because the inventory is not a small go down. When you look at huge factories, right, they'll have hundreds of acres of inventory also. They can have hundreds of acres of inventory. A car manufacturing company can have 1,000 acres of inventory to store their finished automobiles, right? So depending upon this business module, the inventory can be huge. So they'll not directly know where which car is stored where and all those things. So to get those details, they'll again reach out to ABAP. Sales and marketing for forecasting and seeing the historic data of sales, they'll reach out to ABAP for reports. Same thing for finance, so same thing for production. So each and every module in SAP needs help from ABAP. Okay, so that is the reason ABAPers are always on demand. Always there are more number of openings for ABAP. Okay, so yesterday I told you to go ahead and search in Naukri or any job searching platform to see the number of openings. I'm not sure if you have done it or not. If not, please do it. Then you will get a justification right over there. That you can directly see with your own eyes how many openings we are getting for SAP ABAP. Because every module in SAP requires help from ABAP. That's the reason we are always on demand. Okay, so any doubt in this architecture, anyone? Okay, moving on. Okay, so we see there is something called as a three-tier architecture or R3 architecture. It's called in two ways. Okay, R3 architecture or Tier 3 architecture in SAP. So this architecture is what helps uh, complete the transactions in SAP. Okay, complete the complete transaction. Now, I'm not talking about financial transaction, but anything. If you want to perform any action in SAP, this three-tier architecture is responsible for it. Okay, so in ECC system versus HANA system, so the difference between ECC and HANA is, see, ECC is the older system which SAP has developed a few years ago. So now the upgraded version of SAP is called as S4 system. Okay, S4 system is called as the new system. S4, or people call it as HANA system also. But yeah, S4 or HANA system is the new or upgraded version of SAP. So the complete coaching that we are going to take, everything will be on HANA system only. So the server access that you are going to get is also for us S4 HANA system. Okay, because everything that we learn will be based upon new naming conventions, new techniques, new coding patterns, new everything will be new as per the current market trend. We'll have it. So that's the reason the server that you are going to get is also S4 HANA system, but not ECC system. Okay, so we'll just understand. See, the reason we've mentioned ECC system here is, so there are projects still available in the market which are implemented say 10 years ago or 15 years ago. So there, if you are they are still working, and there, if they require any ABAPer to do any support related activities, not development activities, but support related activities, means supporting existing applications. So in those situations, you will see ECC systems. Okay, so to make you understand the difference between S4 and HANA, so we'll show you both ECC and also HANA systems also, on how things work in ECC system and how is it different in HANA system, S4 system. So we'll show you both, so that it doesn't matter if you are getting a ECC project or a HANA project, you should be able to do it. You should be able to support in that project. So that's the reason we'll show you both ECC and S4 system, the differences between both, and how to do things differently in these different systems. Okay, so first ECC R3 architecture. So in see, the reason it's called as R3 architecture or a tier 3 architecture is because it is having three layers. So first is called as a presentation layer, second is application layer, and third is your database layer. So these are the three layers that are there in SAP. It doesn't matter what version of ECC are in, these will be the layers will be same. Okay. So here presentation layer is nothing but the screen that we are seeing. Okay, the screen that you see in SAP, that is nothing but your presentation layer. So it is used to see the input or give the input and see the output. Okay, presentation layer is used to send the input and see the output. Basically, that's the only responsibility of a presentation layer. Then application layer. So all the logical processing, okay, all the logical processing that uh, has to be done in order to perform the action that you're trying to perform will be done on your application layer. Okay, suppose if you are executing something, right, if you are executing a report, so you'll have to get the data and do some logical processing on that. So all that logical processing will happen on your application layer. Then finally your database layer. So database layer is nothing but your database. Okay, so first database is nothing but an individual unit which is used to store your data. Yes, a database is nothing but like your pen drive or a memory card, but on a very larger scale. Okay, it will have tons and tons of data. So the amount of storage capacity that a database is far more larger than our normal portable devices, but the functionality is same. It is used to store the data. Simple. Okay. So then, okay, if you want to extract any data from the database, so the call goes from application layer to the database layer. From the database layer, it will pick the data. Okay, from the database layer, it will pick the data. Then it will further move the data to your application layer. Okay, it will further move the data to your application layer. After moving to the application layer, if again depending on how you are writing the logic, let's say if I'm writing the logic like after extracting the data, I want to use a sum, I want to add the data, like I want to do a addition operation on my data. In that case, again, the logical processing will happen on my application layer. After data extraction, the logical processing of addition, right? Addition will happen on my application layer, and then the final result will be sent to my presentation layer. Is nothing but my output. Okay, so first from presentation layer, the input we have to give the input. The input will be processed in the application layer. Then the application layer will hit the database. From the database it will fetch the records, right, it will fetch the data from the database. Then the fetched record will be again sent to application layer for further processing. After completely processed, the data will be sent to your presentation layer. Okay, so this is the cycle how it works. It starts with presentation layer and it ends with presentation layer. Okay, now, so whenever we do any code, when you write any code in ECC system, our goal is to have less load on database. Okay, our goal is to have less load on database. I'll tell you why should we put less load on database in ECC system. We'll show maybe I'll show when we get into the differences in ECC versus HANA, then you'll understand. Okay, but for now just understand that we have to write our logic so that there should be less load on database, and all the processing should happen on the application layer. So these two are thumb rules when you do anything in ECC system. Okay, so now if we look at HANA architecture, see, the layers are same even here also. There are three layers. First is presentation layer, second is application layer, third is database layer. Right? So the layers again remains the same. ECC versus HANA, the layers remains the same. And also the presentation layer concept remains the same. Right? Presentation layer is still used to show the input and the output. Simple. That's the whole purpose of your presentation layer. But see, the functionality of your application and database layer will be changed a little bit. So in ECC system, what's all the processing, all the logic processing will happen on application layer. But whereas in HANA architecture, we have to make sure that minimal processing or less number of logic processing should happen on application layer. We can put as much load as we want to on database. There is no restriction in putting the load on database. You can put as much load as you want to on database, because HANA is a in-house database that is developed by SAP itself. Okay, because SAP developed it, it is called as an in-memory database. So that's the reason it can handle any amount of load. It can handle any amount of load. So we have to change the logic a little bit. Okay, we have just to tweak the logic a little bit. It's not totally different, like just a little bit different when we write the code. So HANA, in HANA we just write it in a little different way. That's it. So we'll show you both ECC and HANA way how to write your code and all. So if you understand one thing, you can understand the second also. It's not a huge difference and all. Right? We just have to tweak the code a little bit in order to make this happen. That the data load should be on database layer, not on the application layer. See, all this happens in the background. You will not be able to see any of these things happening. You will only see presentation layer in on screen. That's it. So all these things, application layer and database layer, logic processing, etc., etc., happens on background. Happens in the background. You will not see all these things. You will, the only thing that you are going to see is your input and your output. That's it. You will not see anything else. The logical processing, how is the data getting fetched from database and all, you will not see all these things. It happens in the background. Okay, so anyone has any doubts on the RT architecture, be it ECC or HANA? Okay, I'll take it as a no. Okay, so moving on, see, we'll see or we'll understand the differences between ECC and HANA database. Okay, so ECC and HANA database is, so first ECC will use third-party databases. Okay, normally it uses third-party databases. There might be few clients who use a HANA database, but it is very rare. Okay, in ECC system using HANA database is very rare, but there might be few projects who might use it, but mostly they'll use third-party database only in ECC system. It could be either SQL, it could be Oracle, or any third-party database provider. They'll use the third-party database. Whereas HANA or in S4 system uses your in-house database. Okay, in-house database means it is a database created, developed by SAP only. Okay, it is developed by SAP only, and it uses the concept of RAM is random access memory. So it is similar to the concept of our mobile phones. Our mobile phones also will have RAM, right? Like 6 GB RAM, 10 GB RAM, 12 GB RAM, like whatever. So it uses the same concept of RAM. That is the reason it is far more faster. So in few smartphones these days, you will get an option to convert your RAM also to RAM, right? There will be a check, you'll have to do it. So by using which you can extend your memory. So it is the same concept here. So it uses RAM to store your data. That is the reason you can put more load on it. It can take more load on it. Okay. Then ECC system will use row store table concept. Row store table concept and column store table concepts means, see, in row store table concept, the data will be stored in row wise. So imagine this to be a database table. Okay, if you take this as a database table, then your data will be stored in rows like this, like this. So data search will happen horizontally. Okay, if you want to extract any data from the database, then the data search will happen in horizontal manner, in this manner, like look at my cursor, in horizontal manner, like straight manner. But in your column store concept, the data search will happen in vertical manner, in column wise. You see, in this table, these two are my columns, ECC and HANA is my column, and these are all my rows. Okay, these are rows, these are columns. In a matrix, in a table matrix, these are my columns, these are my rows. So in ECC the search will happen in horizontal manner, in HANA the search will happen in column manner. And that is the difference between your ECC, between the row store and column store concept. Okay, so then in ECC system we have slower processing or slower extraction of data. The reason for slower extraction of data is because it uses row store table concept. Okay, it will try to get the data in horizontal manner. That is the reason it takes more time to extract your data. Okay, but whereas your HANA database or S4 system uses column store, so it can have higher extraction power. Higher extraction power means it can extract more number of data from the database. It can extract large number of data in less time compared to your ECC system, compared to your third party databases. So that's the benefit of HANA. Then, so in ECC system there are different categories of tables. Okay, there are different categories of tables. I'll tell you what the categories of tables are when we get into DDIC. So it's a data dictionary, that is the next chapter. Okay, I'll show you all the categories and all, but for now just understand that ECC will have different categories of tables, but whereas your HANA system will only have one category of table. It will only have one category, because multiple categories of tables create confusions and also data loads in your ECC systems. That's the reason when SAP upgraded it to S4 or HANA, they, instead of having these many categories, they meant like, okay, I don't want these many categories. Let's all club these things into one category only. So in HANA, you will only see one category of tables. Okay, so then in ECA system by default every database table is row store table. Okay, every database table is row store table. You cannot change it to a column store table. Okay, you cannot change it to a column store table, but in S4 systems by default it is column store, but we can make it as a row store. Okay, so by default it is a column store table, but we have the option to change it as a row store table. That is again one more benefit in your S4 or HANA system. So there is a small check that you have to do in order to change it. So when we get into the system, when we actually create any table, so I'll show you. So we'll create tables when we get into data dictionary, as I'm saying that that is an extra topic, next chapter. Once we finish this introduction and when we get into the next chapter, then in system directly I'll show you how to create the table, and where is this row store, where is this option of row store, where is the option of column store. All these things I'll directly show you on the system. Okay, so any doubts in ECC between ECC and HANA, anyone? Yes, if you are reluctant to speak, then you can also put your question in the chat. I'll see that and address your doubt. Okay, so now moving on. So we'll just see what is client and server. Okay, see, server is nothing but we use the term server many times, right? We say that the server is not working, or the server is down, or there is more load on the server, the servers are burnt, etc. etc. things, right? We call the server many times. We use this terminology normally. So server is nothing but a channel or a medium through which you can connect to your SAP system. Okay, it is a channel or a medium through which you can connect your SAP system. Okay, if you want to connect to an SAP system, there has to be a working server which can take you, means connect my laptop, connect my laptop to the SAP system. So that is nothing but your server. Then client means, see, if you want to divide your system, if I want to divide my SAP system into different parts, different multiple parts, in that case I have to segregate my SAP system by using a client. Okay, if I want to segregate or divide my SAP system into different parts, then in that case I have to differentiate it by using a client. The purpose of this is to have a data security. Okay, so that, so imagine there is a global client who are doing business across the globe. Okay, so they are very keen or very peculiar about the data that is there in the database. So now what they will think is, why are the people that are working in India should have access to data that is there in US? or why should the people working in US should have the data access from UK, vice versa, like different regions. So they'll feel like, okay, if you are working from Indian time zone India, then you should only see India related data. If you are working from US, you should only see US related data, you should not see other data and all. So in those projects, what they do is they segregate your data, they segregate your systems into different clients, so that uh, one person working from India cannot see the data that a US person can see. Again, a US person cannot see the data from an Australian, or from the Australia client, all those things. So like that. So this data segregation, or this system segregation is done by using your client. See, client is nothing but a number. Okay, a unique number will be assigned to your system. I'll just show you one glimpse on how it looks like. Okay, what exactly is client is. It's not a huge rocket science and all. See, when you log into SAP system, see, it says a client now here. So now the current client is 800. So this is a name given to the current client, current server that we are working currently. So similarly, you will have a different number here. Okay, so instead of 800, I can have 810, or I can have 001. I can have any number, doesn't matter. Every project will have a different client number. So you can have any number from 1 to 999, because you can only have uh, a length of 3 here. So the client number can be 001 or 999. So in between 001 and 999, it can have any number. Okay, that's your client. And every client, see, if you see here, they have username and password. Yes, so every client will have a different username and a different password. So if I'm able to log in through 800 with some credentials, I cannot log into 810 client. I cannot log into another 810 client by using the same credentials. It will have a separate credentials. 810 will have separate credentials. So that's the data security that the client gives. Okay, that's the data security that your client gives. So any doubt between server and client? Anyone? So server is nothing but a channel or a medium through which we'll connect to the SAP system, whereas your client is something that is used to segregate my data or divide my SAP system to multiple parts. Okay, if no doubt, I'll just move on to the ABAP introduction. Okay. See, this introduction is only to show you how the keywords in ABAP will look like. Okay. So see, it's basic English. It's see, ABAP uses OpenSQL as its background. Okay, ABAP uses OpenSQL as its background. So you will see a few SQL related keywords in ABAP. Okay, so these are some SQL related keywords in ABAP that we have here. So first is select. Select means in English, what does it mean? To get, right? Select means to get. So select is used to extract the data from the database. Simple. So select is used to extract the data from database. If you want to extract any data from database, you will just write select in the code. Select and the table name you have to give. But yeah, syntax, don't worry about it. Again, it will have, you'll have inbuilt syntax, but you have just have to remember the select. So select is used to extract the data from database. Then we have update. Update means change. Yes, update means change. Change the existing thing. Whatever that is there now, I want to change it. That is called update. So update statement is used to change the existing data in database table. Simple. Then we have insert. Insert means adding. Yes. So insert statement is used to add a new entry into database table. Then, then modify. So modify is like a combination of update and insert. Okay, it is a combination of both update and insert. So first, when you write modify, it will check whether the data is already existing in the system. Okay, it will check whether the data is already existing in the system. If yes, then it will try to change the data. If the entry is not there in the system, then it will add that entry. So first it will try to update. If update is not possible, then it will try to insert. That's it. So it acts like both update and insert, modify. So it's a combination of both update and insert. Okay, then finally we have what? Delete. So delete, as it says, it is used to delete the data from database table. So this is normal open SQL statements that we use in a map in order to do the data manipulation or data selection in SAP. Okay, any doubt? So, see, just because ABAP uses OpenSQL as its background, it's not mandatory that you have to have SQL knowledge before learning ABAP. There is no prerequisite for learning ABAP. Okay, there is no prerequisite for learning ABAP. With a fresh mind, you can directly come and learn ABAP. You don't need to have SQL knowledge to learn ABAP. ABAP is a separate independent language. Yep. Any doubt, guys? Okay, so we'll just park today's class at this point only. Okay, so then if I'm tomorrow, we'll see these workbench objects and etc. things we'll see. Okay, so yeah, I'll be uploading this document again in the today's classroom session. Not sure if you have seen yesterday's document or not. So I've uploaded the yesterday's content also in the Google Classroom. If you haven't seen it yet, please go and see it. Similarly, I'll upload today's also. So see, the only requirement from you people is to have discipline to, practice each and every session, content in that day itself. Don't keep stacking things up for next day and all. So every day, if we are discussing something, I expect you to please practice and get get understanding on the topic. Because if you skip practicing these things and if you feel like I'll do it tomorrow or day after tomorrow, it will just keep on stacking up, and you'll lose you'll just lose everything. Like you'll lose the interest of learning and all. So don't make that happen. So every day, please keep practicing it. So spend at least 1 hour in practicing these things. Okay, so once the introduction is completed, I'll share you the complete document of ERP introduction also. So even from there also you can revise. And during the beginning, once we begin the DDIC, I'll also share you the document of DDIC2, data dictionary. That is the second chapter. So that as we progress through, you can either look at the recordings, everyday recordings, or else you can go through the course content from the document, and you can start reading or start practicing. Okay, so that will be said every day. Okay, so if no one is having any doubts, then we can conclude today's session. So I'll wait for 1 minute. If you are having any doubt, you can speak up, or else you can put it in the chat. Okay, I didn't get any ping, so I'm guessing no one is having any doubts. So yeah, please, as yesterday, if you have pinged the concerned person that you have attended the first demo, right? So please ping them that you have attended the second demo as well, right? So just to have an attendance. So we are not going to do it for the whole course, but only in the initial days we just have to do it for a few more days. That's it. Okay. Yeah. So thanks everyone. Thanks for joining today. We'll meet tomorrow.